Hi, Gorgiana Montgomery Simpson Joneses.
How are we?
Welcome back to another little weekly episode.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
I also thought about Tuesday girls. What if we called them our Tuesday girls?
Our Fat Tuesdays.
I hope everyone's feeling fine drinking wine on your Tuesday. We
On your way to
missed
work.
you. We missed you. We missed you.
What's
going on?
What's going on this week? So what's going on?
What's going on?
Sorry, I have to hide that wire. It's bothering me. That's gonna make noise, and you're gonna chop my clit off. What's going on this week? Shall we get into it? What's going on with you, Chris? I haven't slept in 6 days.
Because you've been manic and staying up until 4 a.m. trying to manifest
No,
things.
bitch. I fall the fuck asleep. I get in bed and I'm out like a light, and then I'm waking up every hour on the hour. And Ambien is really good to me, but I'm trying not to rely on her.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to rely on her because all of my doctors are like so against prescribing it to me, but I'm like, just fucking prescribe it to me. And then they're like, okay. It's just, I hate asking doctors for things.
No, because they always make you feel like you're such a fucking crackhead. Yeah. And it's like, just give me my medications. Also, like, that's how I am with like my Valium. I don't get Valium prescribed that often because I only take it when I fly. And I don't take a lot.
That's what I tell them for Ambien.
Yeah. And they've stopped prescribing it to me because they think I'm like abusing it. Meanwhile, I get a prescription filled like once a year. Like, okay, you need to relax.
I had a meeting with my psychiatrist on Monday, and was that yesterday? I don't fucking know what day of the week it is today.
Yeah.
And I kind of planted the seed with her. I was like, I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping, but I just think it's X, Y, and Z. And I also feel like every time I meet with my psychiatrist, I meet with her every other month, and it's like every time I talk to her, I'm just like, okay, can we make this as quick as possible because I actually have like other things that I need to be doing right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, everything's good, everything's great, the medication's great, and I'm not depressed. So I tried to like bring up like a sleeping situation, and she was like, you'll be fine. She was like, you're fine. And I was like, okay. But I think that the next time I meet with her, I'm gonna be like, Mamas, I think I need something to go night night.
I'm still not sleeping.
I was like, I think I need a little night night juice.
Does she ever suggest like cutting back on Adderall or anything?
No, and that's what I'm like afraid to do because it's like kind of counterintuitive. Like she's probably gonna be like, well, we can cut down your dose, and I'm gonna be like, bitch,
absolutely do not do that to me.
Like,
don't take the one thing away from me that makes me happy.
The second.
What's the first? Grinder.
My little baby girl.
His vape. He's holding his vape. Okay, I have to get my own health insurance now.
Oh, slay.
I'm like,
God, we're adults.
We're
adults.
Like, why do they have to make it so complicated? First of all, like, the average American has 2 brain cells, and I'm less than average.
It's like, do you want an HMO? Do you want a PPO? Do you want this? Do you want bronze, platinum? This one's covered with this. This one's with that. This one is a $75 deductible. I'm like, what is a deductible? I'm 42 years old, and I still do not know what a fucking health insurance deductible is.
A deductible, and then there's also a copay, and it's like, what the fuck? Why is there a difference between the two? Can't they just be the same thing? Like, what the fuck is that?
I have absolutely no fucking idea to this day. And every single time I go to any doctor, they give me a different fucking price. I'm like, I go to one doctor, it's $75. I go to one doctor, it's $25. I go to one doctor, it's $15.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah.
You know what I actually need to do?
Tell me.
There's like those, you get like 2 free, like whatever, like you get a physical and you get like those little Percadinas, Percolina McGinas.
Like standard healthcare.
Yeah. And I should log into my, I also have literally, I'm so mentally ill. I have like 4. I don't know if it's Blue Shield, Blue Cross, Blue Anthem Blue. I don't know what the fuck it is. I think it's Blue Shield.
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
I don't even know. Anthem Blue. I don't know. I have like 4 logins when I go into that account, and I'm like, I don't know which is which.
Why do you have so many logins?
Because I'm literally an old lady, and I'm like, I don't remember what my password is. I was like, I don't think I ever made one. And then I've had so many different plans. I don't even know. I'm just mental. but health insurance is gives me a lot of
The bane
anxiety.
of my
It gives me a
existence.
lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like.
And it's also like even worse if you're like trying to be smart about it and like if you need to have something done or like you need to see a specific doctor for something or whatever. And so you try and call your health insurance and you're like, will this be covered? And then they give you the most complicated fucking answer. And it's like, okay, well, if you do this and then X, Y, and Z, but then if your dog gets sick, it's going to be like probably an extra $75 that we won't reimburse you for. But then if like the doctor says that you need to have this tooth pulled, then like it will cover
Girl, I don't
that.
even have dental insurance.
Uh,
That's a whole nother ball game.
I'm just like,
It's a whole situation. It's a full fucking scheme.
yeah, it
That's what I
is.
should be
It's
doing for
literally
work.
yeah, selling insurance policies.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's literally like it's a pyramid scheme. Healthcare and our government and insurance is literally a pyramid scheme.
And I didn't know that it was illegal to not have health insurance.
I didn't know that either, but I'm breaking the law right now.
Like the IRS or something. Also, you guys, I get bills every day in the mail from the IRS.
Do you open them?
I open them and I'm like, I don't know if this is real or not. I get like, I got
What do they
not
say?
not one that I owe money, and I'm like, you motherfuckers, like I am not gonna disclose actually how much I paid in taxes for last year, but I'm like, why do you need another $43 from me? Why do you need another $200 from me? Why do you need another $18 from me? I'm like, you girls need to get it together.
Yeah, you need to figure
Like
it out.
one and done. Like I'm
Yeah.
done playing this fucking like game of fucking pigeon carrier, getting a little
Yeah.
fucking something in the mail every day. I'm writing checks. I love writing a check.
I hate writing a check.
I love writing a
I
check.
still pay my rent via check, and that's probably why I hate writing a check. But like,
Yeah.
I despise it because it like, why do I have so much anxiety every time I write a check that I'm going to fuck something up? And like, as if it's gonna be the end of the world if I like have to throw away a check. Like, not a big deal, but I just like get so anxious about it. And then I'm also like, I learned how to write checks when I was like a child, and like I feel weird about now. I don't write in cursive anymore, and I feel weird if I'm not writing in cursive on my check. I have like a weird anxiety about
You know
that.
what we should talk about right now?
What should we talk about?
Handwriting.
What about it?
I feel like I actually, this is gonna sound crazy, and I don't know what like mental illness this correlates to, but I feel like I have different handwritings for different situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like different fonts.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm writing someone a card, it's like a chic sloppy cursive.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm like writing notes like and like doing like my calendar, like work stuff, it's like uppercase but like chic.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'm writing a check, it's like it's kind of like a cursive moment.
Do you still write in cursive? Like, is it true cursive or is it just like regular lettering but scribbled?
It's like half and half.
Okay. I'm kind of jealous of that. Like, cause cursive is really chic, but like
Mhm.
I stopped writing in cursive in, I don't know, fucking 6th grade or something. And like, why would I ever write in cursive again? I think I forgot how to do it.
I could fully write in cursive, but I just it's kind of outdated now. It's weird. Like I don't even
Yeah.
think they like taught like my sister how to write in cursive.
Yeah. I
Also-
feel like I was like on that cusp of like they were not really caring
Yeah,
anymore.
they don't enforce that, shall I say?
Yeah.
They're not
Look at you with the
enforcing-
big words.
They're not enforcing cursive handwriting. Anyway,
Bring back cursive
I also
handwriting.
get grossed out by like people who have like
Bad handwriting.
or like
Is it people in general or is it romantic interests?
oh my god, it's both. Like if I see someone's handwriting that I'm like into and it's not the vibe, I'm like I can't receive cards like that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
If it's not good, I'm like I can't do it.
I feel like I would be slightly turned off if I witnessed a straight man's handwriting and it was a little too good. Like it can't be like 4th grade level,
Mm-hmm.
but it also can't be like gorgeous like calligraphy.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, and you know like girl handwriting?
yeah.
Like I think I'm like traumatized from like having girl handwriting
Mm-hmm.
like as a man,
Yeah.
as a boy, that I'm like I've always tried to not have girl handwriting, but it's like I'm fucking gay, so I have girl handwriting.
Of course.
So I feel like I have good handwriting because it's like I have the girl handwriting underneath the sloppiness.
Yeah. So then it's kind of gorgeous though, because like a sloppy, like chic print is like really gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine isn't gorgeous at all. I have actually not good handwriting. And it's not horrible, but it's like not great either. And it also really depends on what pen I'm using.
Okay, you're autistic.
Okay.
Speaking of high school, should I talk about my other thing?
Wait, I actually had one more thing. No, actually, I'm not going to go there. Yes.
I have a confession to make.
Tell us.
So in high school, me and my friend like literally had an anon Twitter account that was essentially like
Regina George's burn book.
basically, and also it was like a meme account of our high school. I don't even know if like people that know me know this.
How many did it have? Did it have followers?
I think I had like 300 or 400 followers, but like I don't even know if 300 or 400 people went to my high school. It was super small. But
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of people from like other high schools followed it because
Mm.
they
Wanted to keep up on the tea.
yeah, but it was never like we never named names or anything, but it was like very niche specific like basically memes that were like relevant to our high school, and my high school
It's
was
like high school blind items.
yes. And sometimes it got very specific and I would just like have anxiety all day long. Like I'm like someone is going to find this IP address connected to my iPhone 4
Yeah.
and literally come and arrest me. Like I'm never going to go to college. Like my life is going to be over once people find out about this. I was like I'm going to die. I mean, it kind of went off.
That's kind of a slay.
It was kind of good.
That's actually I
It
I
w-
actually respect you for that.
Yeah, it was like Gossip Girl adjacent.
Yeah.
It was like memes before memes did memes exist back then?
What year did you graduate?
High school 2013.
I don't know when memes became a thing.
But that was like Instagram like became a thing like in 2012 or
Yeah.
2011. So maybe not. I don't even know. What was before that? Tumblr, Facebook?
Facebook.
But yeah, that was a fun little stint that I did and then me and my friend deleted it.
That's sad.
It was really sad.
I've always really enjoyed when people make those accounts for their high school and then when they graduate, they pass it down to somebody.
I remember being in one of my classes. It was like I don't remember this exact situation, but I was in like one of my first college classes. It was like the first week or so of college. And I had people texting me about the account, like blowing me up about it
Like
in
wanting
class.
to take it over.
No, like that something was like people were finding out that it was me and this other girl, and like I just remember having so much anxiety and like literally deleting at that moment, like fucking deleting the entire account. I should find it.
You deactivated it or you deleted it?
I think I deactivated it and then like a year later I reactivated it because I wanted to see it again. I have no fucking idea. That would be a really good.
I need to see this.
Yeah, but like it caused fucking drama.
I love that.
Like people were like there were cat fights
That's kind of good.
and I was like I don't know what's going on. This has nothing to do with me.
That is very Gossip Girl.
But it's
adjacent
also
of you.
like who else fucking talks like that? Obviously, it's me, you idiots.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
and
The
my
one
friend
gay
who I
kid in
made it with
school.
is like the same exact personality as me. So anyway, haven't spoke to her in like 10 years.
When I was in college, we had like, did your college have like those? They all had their own. It was like a branch off of something, and it was like per college. Like we had I'm Schmacked, which like there were a few others at other colleges. So like ours was we were Rams, so we were I'm Schmacked Rams. But there were other variations under like the same. I don't know who was at the top of these.
I had zero involvement with the university that I graduated from.
Okay, I need to tell you this. So my freshman year, I did the undie run, and there was this girl in front of me, this like drunk bitch in front of me. She jumps on this guy's back, and they take off running, and then they like spin out into the grass and like fall over and eat shit. And I took this video on my Snapchat, and like 2 weeks later or something, I'm like showing it to a friend. I'm like, oh my God, look at this video I got at the undie run. And they were like, oh my God, you need to submit that to I'm Schmacked immediately. So I did. And of course, like within minutes, it was posted to the account. And I was like, oh my God, my submission was on I'm Schmacked, like whatever. And then I'm not fucking kidding you. Like 2 years later, I think it was, I had moved into this house with a group of girls from my sorority, and we were like sitting on the couch, like telling stories, talking, whatever. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, like I took this video at the Undie Run a few years ago that like was posted on I'm Schmacked, and I showed it to them, and they were like, Cedar, that's Lindsay, who is not only one of our sorority sisters, but one of my fucking roommates, like one of my friends, like
And
one
they
of
had
my
no
close
idea, or
friends.
you had no idea?
I didn't realize it was her.
Holy shit.
And she didn't know it was me that submitted it. And so we all were like, oh my God, Lindsay. And she's like, that was you that submitted that? Like, she like went off on me, but like it was funny at
like
the
she
time.
was so embarrassed.
She was just, like kind of embarrassed,
but
but
like
it was
no
also
one
like
knows.
it
Like,
was enough
if you,
time had passed that it was just
yeah.
funny. But like I felt so bad. I was like, of course, like the one thing I submit that like is embarrassing for someone else ends up being someone who I'm
that
not only
1,000% would
friends
happen
with,
to
but
you as well as
living with.
me.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Did you guys have Yik Yak?
Oh my God.
Do you remember that? It
I
was like you
do.
could just anonymously like
Oh, that was such tea.
such fucking tea.
Oh, and then you could, because you could check other schools as well. And
Yeah.
it was like basically like a playground for toxic gossiping amongst
So
schools.
terrible.
So good though.
Okay, hold on. There
Can
was
we start those again?
a Yik Yak.
Yeah, but like for other things. Like it should be about like either like LA social clubs or maybe even like I want to say like corporations, but that's like Glassdoor
I have an
essentially.
app idea that I will never
Execute.
execute. I have an app idea that I will absolutely never execute.
So somebody else should do it if they're listening.
Well, I'm not going to tell them.
Oh,
But it's basically something like that.
love.
Very particular to Los Angeles.
Mm.
And maybe I should fucking do it.
Yeah, why not?
We'll talk about it off air.
Yeah, I feel like we should bring those back. They're kind of toxic and horrible, but also like that's also something
what
I
was
want
the
to
other one?
address.
Form Spring?
Don't know what that
Spring,
is.
Form Spring?
Don't know.
It was like connected to your MySpace, and you could like ask people anonymous questions.
MySpace was so good.
MySpace was so
Like,
fucking
The
good.
pinnacle of social media.
Like MySpace was so good. It was so trashy, and like I would die to log back into my MySpace, but that shit's long gone.
Yeah. I've found mine a couple times. And I don't know. I don't think I could get into it, but I've found it. And there's like for some reason, there's like pictures on it still, but they won't all load. So I like have screenshot like 5 pictures from my old account. It's like so bad, but
Imagine being a parent in like 2008 and having your child on MySpace. I would lose my shit.
no, that's terrifying.
I would
Also, like
absolutely lose my shit.
the amount of hours that like me and my friends spent on YouTube, and we weren't even like the worst of them. And I'm like, the things that are on YouTube.
I know. That's why I'm scared for, I mean, if we, God forbid, if we were to ever
reproduce.
have a child, like, I'm like, there is so, like, if you just hand your kid your phone to shut it up, it's like, they could be
Doing anything.
They could be on someone's OnlyFans. You have no
Yeah.
fucking idea what's
Yeah.
going on. It's like the world is at their fucking
Well,
fingertips.
and you've heard of like the stories of like kids taking their parents' phones and like ordering like thousands of dollars worth of stuff from like whatever websites and like Amazon and like whatever, because they don't understand.
Yeah.
Like they don't understand.
I'm so scared. That's an enough of a reason for me to like not have a child.
No, 1000%. Like the world is scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm getting nervous now.
Okay, let's change the subject. I
Okay.
wanted to talk about something when we were talking about how we should bring back something like Yik Yak, and it's
Mhm.
like so toxic, but it's also like really fun. I think what people don't realize is when you take the sincerity out of like toxic shit like that and you just don't care, it loses all of its power. And like I was thinking about this last night because all of the people that were bent out of shape in our fucking comment section about me saying you should date horrible men. Like, obviously, I don't mean that seriously. Like, what kind of person would say that out loud and say it seriously? Me.
Oh,
But
1000%.
what?
No, I was just gonna say the amount of people that were like, we need to normalize not using the word normalize, or we need to stop using the word normalize, and I was like,
Get a life.
why?
Yeah.
Like, you're not normal.
Yeah.
Like, you need to normalize yourself. I
Yeah.
was just like, why is that like people just fucking nitpick anything. It's like, get a fucking life.
No, so that's what I wanted to say. Like, yeah, we should bring back fucking Yik Yak because it's toxic and it's horrible, but it's fun if you don't care. The thing is to just not care. It's fun to
Like
date
you,
toxic people
yeah,
if you don't care. If you're not emotionally invested in it and like they're being toxic, yeah, give them a little toxic back. Don't ever be toxic just right off the bat. But if somebody's being a little shitty, okay, be a little shitty.
yeah,
But like,
throw it in there,
but
throw it back at
if you
them.
don't care and if you're unfazed by it and you have no emotional investment or attachment, then like have fun with
People
it.
just take shit way too seriously.
Everyone,
And
that's what
this
that's
is
exactly the point I'm trying to make.
yeah, like, and this is not the place for that because we just talk about absolutely fucking nothing.
And no one understands that.
And like we are real people and have like, but the most interesting thing is it's like, I don't know if I should even say this. It's like, do we like what we obviously talk about and what we portray? It's like, yes, there's some level of truth. I'm like giving away our secrets right now.
There are none.
But like there's obviously a level of truth to it, and it's just like how our fucked up minds work. But it's like we are like
Practical and rational human beings with
and like realistic and like
yeah.
actually emotionally stable people.
This is also something I wanted to say too in terms of like us calling people like ugly or something like that. Like I would never just look at somebody and be like, that person is ugly. But if you like attack me at the fucking
Oh,
grocery
yeah.
store like a fucking
Yeah.
Karen, even if you're
Yeah.
hot, I'd be like, this fucking ugly bitch. Like
yeah.
just because I'm saying ugly doesn't mean I'm calling somebody ugly.
It has
You know what I
nothing
mean?
to do with their physical appearance.
Yeah, and like also that's a rule. That's like an unspoken rule that I have. Like I would never attack somebody for their physical appearance, like not knowing them, like not knowing anything about them, whatever. But if they were mean to me or if they did something shitty to me, then that's when I would like use those little things, but never to them.
No.
And it would always be like in the privacy
like
of like
only an evil person would actually do something
it
like
would be
that.
like, yeah, and it would be like me to you in a voice note being like, this stupid fucking ugly bitch at the grocery store. And like, that doesn't harm anybody. That's just
Yeah.
venting. That's just ranting.
And that's what
like,
everyone does. Like you can't tell me or Cedar that you've never fucking said something like that before.
Yeah.
And that your brain doesn't naturally fucking think like that.
Get off your fucking high horse and get a fucking life. That's what I have to say on that.
Period. And stop taking things seriously.
Stop taking things so serious. But I think that's the problem as well. Is like the random trolls that like see our clips on the internet. Like they don't get like the full picture. They don't get us saying at the beginning of the episode, don't take anything we say seriously.
Mhm.
None of this is real. Except for all of it is, but it's also not at the same time. Like they don't get that. And then so like the people who actually listen, they get it. Like they
Mhm.
know. And we don't even have to say that to them because like obviously if you're listening, you're not a fucking idiot. But then these like weirdos that just like crawl out of the fucking woodwork on the internet behind their little keypads, it's like, get a life.
You know what's really weird to me and actually really uncomfortable
Tell me.
for me to experience? When someone like, as you know, me and Cedar like barely read these comments. Like we don't have enough time in the day, and
Yeah.
like they're just weird. And then there's like people fighting back and forth with one another. But sometimes if I click on an account and it's like literally 0 followers, zero like someone that leaves like the nastiest or just like outlandish, weird as fuck comment,
Mhm.
and I'm like, for me, imagine having a completely blank Instagram profile just to go around and sprinkle. Do you have the one? Why are you looking at me like that?
No, because I'm fully in agreement.
No, it's like imagine going around and like sprinkling crazy weird shit and just thinking that you're so fucking cool. Like
yeah,
you
and like
are
what
so
you said
sick
is
in
like
the head.
so like mic drop moment of your life. Like,
yeah.
and to who? With your 0 followers?
Like I don't the interesting thing for me is like I would never like comment on someone's photo that I didn't know.
And we talked about this on here before. Like people
Yeah.
who like comment if it's positive, yeah. But like if you're just throwing like weird negative shit out there.
And I understand that like we have controversial topics and people
Yeah.
come in there with, you know, and say that we're fucking dumb as fuck and that we're like absolutely out of our mind and need to grow up, et cetera, and that we're ugly. But like I don't know, I just couldn't imagine telling someone that I didn't know that. Like someone that did nothing to me. But I guess we are horrible people.
We're so horrible. And also people have too much time on their hands. And like what I would rather be doing with that time instead of typing out a comment is like scrolling to find something I find more entertaining.
1,000%. Like, I don't like if something doesn't like serve me or entertain me or like align. We've also talked about this. If something doesn't like align with the way that my brain works, like I don't watch it and I don't comment on it because
Move
it
on with
doesn't
your
affect
day.
me and that's not in my realm of reality.
That also circles back to the point that I was making previously. Just being fucking unbothered. Like nothing matters if you're unbothered about
Yeah.
everything. And like that's the problem with a lot of people is
Like,
everyone's so fucking bothered about shit. And it's like, relax, babe. Like life isn't that serious. It's really
mm-mm.
not.
If you're mad, go for a walk, go do a face mask, go do a workout class. Like, just work on yourself.
Yeah. Do
Us
something else. Literally
gaslighting people
anything.
that are probably much more sane than us. Like,
We're queen of gaslighting.
yeah,
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to Hot and Bothered. I'm Cedar Champ.
we're bipolar.
30 minutes into this episode. We didn't do an intro.
Fuck.
What's your name?
Hey guys, it's Chris Bruno here. I'm with my co-host
I already did mine.
Cedar Champ. On this podcast, we talk about everything that we find hot as fuck.
And everything that bothers the shit out of us.
We have 0 credentials.
Minimal life experience.
And don't take anything that we say seriously.
In case we didn't make that clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you hot or bothered?
I just had a thought.
Tell me.
Should we like go to an episode that we look really hot in and like pin our intro?
On our Instagram?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
I'm not going back through all of those episodes to find a clip. So I'd have to re-download every file onto my computer.
I could just edit it on my phone. I have all them on the burner.
Okay, go for it.
Fuck off. You think I can't do anything?
You can't. You're never going to do that. You're never going to do that.
And then I'm going to do it and then you're going to be like, I look ugly.
Whatever. I actually don't care. You can post the ugliest things of me if you'd like.
That's true.
Are you hot or bothered?
I'm bothered this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bothered this week.
Tell me about it.
I'm bothered this week, you guys. Could you imagine? It's literally, you're going to have to come grab it.
You're disgusting. Literally in
My
your ass.
fucking clit.
Your butt plug.
I'm bothered this week
Okay.
because as much as I love living in Los Angeles and as much as I subscribe to the toxic competition of things that do not affect our actual lives, and well, they do affect our lives is the thing. I just feel like I don't want to say I just feel like, because there is such, it's a fucking pissing match in LA where you grocery shop, where you get coffee, where you work out, where you fucking take a dump. Like everyone here, like if you tell someone that you shop at Trader Joe's in Los Angeles, they will look at you.
They'll pull out a gun and shoot
like
you.
you are oozing pus out of
Mhm.
every pore on your body because you like shop at Trader Joe's. Like everyone is so judgmental, and I know that I said this, like I can't date someone who like shops at Ralph's, and I know that I'm guilty of this because I did say in a previous episode that I would never be able to date someone who like shops at a Ralph's or something, and I fully stand by that. But actually no, I don't. Do I?
No, because you do a little bit. You do a little combination of both.
I know, but I have to go to Pavilions. I can't do it at Ralph's.
Oh,
You have to go to Pavilions.
to me they're all the same.
They're not.
Okay, carry on.
Anyway, okay, but it's just like you can't keep up with shit. You can't keep up. Like I don't even know. It's like people judge you if you're not like getting everything at Erewhon. Like if you're not going to some $500 private fucking gym. Like if you're, I don't even know. It's just fucking annoying. Can you contribute to this?
I have things I want to add. Okay, so I was like having this conversation earlier with somebody, and we were just talking about like what the up and coming like luxury gyms are in LA, and came up with like a list of like 3-4 ish, and then we start talking about Equinox, of course, and like Equinox isn't cool. Your membership will still cost you $275 a month, but like Equinox is actually like kind of lame and gross and a little
Mm-hmm.
cheesy. And like it's not cool. It's not a flex to say that you go to Equinox even though memberships are fucking expensive. And then like if you're not in on the new in thing, like especially like a really cool gym, which like you're literally going there to like sweat, like what is that? But like there's all these like niche little like
And everyone's trying
gyms
to
and
be
like
so
wellness.
different and so ahead of the curve and
Yeah.
so like better than everyone that it's like, and I feel like I experience this like when I go on dates with people. It's like so much of that, like you're trying to
Mhm.
like size you up by like where do you work out or
Mhm.
where do you go for this or where do you go for that? And I'm like, why the fuck? I mean, I literally I can't even say this with a straight face because I said the fucking Ralph's thing. But it's like I stand by every fucking place that I go to. But I'm
But we
also
can
I
also recognize how ridiculous it
a
is
1000%.
that like where you grocery shop matters. That's insane. You're getting groceries. But also to that point, we've talked about this before, and I'm sure we've all seen it all over TikTok. Like there have been rumors about the produce quality at Trader Joe's, blah 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 blah. And so I'm like, ew, yeah, now I don't really want to buy my produce at Trader Joe's because people have said that like when they're taking it off the truck, there's fucking rats crawling on it.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think that we all have experienced that. Everyone has like Trader Joe's was a thing when it was a thing.
yeah,
And I mean, Trader Joe's still hits when you need her to hit.
she's still my girl. I
Like
still go there if I
yeah,
don't feel like cooking and I need like a little frozen
of
something.
course. And if you need a little soy cracker moment,
Mm-hmm.
if you need a little JoJo's, if you need whatever the fuck you need, but I feel like the whole produce thing with Trader Joe's, like before that was even like a known thing, I was like, I cannot buy produce at Trader Joe's because it literally goes rotten in one day and it's disgusting and the bag of
Mm-hmm.
arugula, half of it is black.
Yeah.
So it's like we all knew that, but I don't know what to say.
So then you buy your groceries at Whole Foods, but now Whole Foods isn't
No,
even good. So now
no
we all
people
have
get
to
mad
go.
at you if you go to Whole Foods.
Well, yeah, and then okay, so what's our other option? Air One. So you're gonna pay $65 for a head of lettuce.
You know
Like
what? You know what? You know who the silent sleeper is?
who?
Bristol Farms.
I fuck so fucking heavy with
She's
Bristol
the
Farms.
silent sleeper.
She's a little pricey, but like
She's egregious.
yeah,
Terrible.
but she's a gorgeous
And you
grocery
know what the
store.
fuck I love about Bristol Farms? You can go get a pack of Oreos and you can go get some organic ass fucking
We need a combination of
I don't
both.
even know. And that's what she gives me. And that's why I live for her and I die for her. And her vibe is so chic.
Someone's gonna cancel me for saying this, but I also like I used to go buy raw milk from Bristol Farms, and then I became unemployed, so then I didn't buy raw milk anymore because it's $10 for a half gallon. Um, but that's why I would go to Bristol Farms and I would get my raw milk, and then like you can still like go get your fucking Doritos or whatever else you need, and
Yeah.
it's like
I love her. She's a
love.
one stop shop.
No, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then like also and it's also like so horrible because it's like, you know when you're shopping and you're like um you're at Sephora and then they have like when you're going to the checkout they have the little section of like the minis and like you can't help but like stop and peruse and like pick up a
Yeah.
few things and spend an extra $50. Bristol Farms has that to an extent where they have like at the end of their aisles they have like
The little things.
the nice little like she like why do I need a fucking $16 jam? I don't, but it looks
Yeah.
gorgeous. I'm gonna buy it.
Skincare is also another thing that people like go batshit crazy and get defensive for here. And it's like, I don't give a fuck if Barbara Sturm isn't a real doctor.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
she can have every dollar to my name. I'm
Mhm.
like, I do not give a fuck. But I feel like with everything that I do, like I'm so well versed
Mhm.
in terms of like, yeah, I will go to pavilions and I'll go get my 3 cases of Diet Coke. And then I will go to Erewhon to go get my little wraps. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's the same thing with skincare. It's like you have your Old Faithfuls, and then you have your your little splurgy moments.
Mhm.
And so I feel like I sit on both sides.
You have to choose your battles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some people, like I've literally had people like, oh my God, you can't use that. Like, oh my God, that's so fucking bad. And then I'm like, why do you think I give 2 fucks
Yeah.
about where you like what face lotion you want me to use?
Yeah.
Like it has
But also, like, we drink the Kool-Aid. Like, we
1,000%. And I will
fully
drink it
we
all day
drink the
long.
fucking Kool-Aid.
I will drink it all day long, and I want a fucking double of it, honey.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's also like terrible because it's like those little things. I'm a very firm believer of improving the quality of your life in any aspect that you can.
Mm-hmm.
So if like I'm going to go to the grocery store, like I would rather spend $6 extra to get a water bottle that makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's going to release endorphins for me to be holding this water bottle as opposed to a different kind of water bottle.
Like a glass water bottle versus like Dasani.
And that is probably one of my most toxic traits. And I just rambled on about how much I hate people that do that. But I would never really like actually judge someone for that.
No, of course not.
But like it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm not doing it to like prove to someone that like, oh, like I do this because it's like more expensive, or like it's better than whatever you do. It's because those little things like that will improve my day.
Make you
Like that will make me happy.
Yeah. Treating yourself.
Right? Like everyone needs to treat themselves.
It's like an extension of the $8 coffee.
And maybe there's something wrong in my brain that where it makes me happy to experience something like that over something that's like subpar and average.
Well, there's many things wrong in our brains.
For sure.
But yeah, I don't know. Treat yourself. Like, whatever the fuck. Does it matter? No.
If it makes you
and
feel
if it
good,
makes
bitch,
you happy
do
to
it.
like shop at Ralph's, shop at Ralph's, babe.
I don't think it makes anyone happy though. That's the thing.
But we're also not judging them if it does.
No, but you know what? I actually just hate going to the fucking grocery store in general.
It's the worst experience.
But go to a cute new grocery store. Go to a farmer's market and see if that experience makes you happier than going to a Ralph's.
Yeah.
I do things for the experience.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going, yeah, whatever. I'm done talking about this.
There was something else I thought I wanted to add on the topic of gyms, but I don't know if it's still in my head. Also, another problem about LA is that like okay, I go to my Equinox and I go there because it's a block and a half away. It's so convenient and I can't drive to a gym. I'm not doing it. Like, no one there is really that hot. And then you go to these gyms, like these new, they're not even gyms. They're like wellness centers. Everyone's got like a cold plunge now. And
there's like 3 treadmills.
Yeah. And
you're like, do I have to like sign up for the treadmill when I walk in?
Right.
It's like, what's going on here?
Am I even allowed to use this feature?
Like, is a private class going to be happening like while I'm working out?
Right. Like, you don't know what's going on really, but also like it's super niche and everyone is so hot. Everyone is so hot. Like, I've been going to this breathwork studio and have fully drank the Kool-Aid. Like, I am obsessed with it. Like, my second time there, I spent like $110 on fucking merch, which is insane. But it's like, you walk in and first of all, you feel gorgeous because like the space is like stunning.
Yeah.
You're assaulted by Palo Santo as soon as you walk in. And everyone is so hot. And it's like,
you're just inhaling that positivity of good energy and being hot.
And being around hot people
like
makes you hotter.
Why is that? It does. Being around hot people makes you so hot.
And that's why we're all so deep in this like weird little LA cult that we've created, is because like all we want to do is be hot and like be around other hot people so we can be hotter.
I can get so deep into this conversation. You have no idea.
This
I feel
is
like
the only topic Chris could be ever
like
be deep
I
on.
feel like we have barely even scratched the surface with this.
No, we haven't.
But like it is so, it blows my fucking mind to think about how unhealthy living in LA is and how unnecessary it is, but also I'm obsessed.
But
I
you
love
know what
her.
else?
Like,
You know
it's
what else
so
is?
fun living here.
You know what else the thing is?
Like,
is
I would
that
die going. Like, I can't.
the crazy part about it is that LA is so fucking far behind on every trend whatsoever. Like, all of the good fashion obviously like starts from somewhere else, but then migrates to New York, and then it doesn't even come to LA until like 3 years later. Like, I have people talking to me about the new It bag that has been out of style in New York for like 10 years now. And I'm like, how is LA so far fucking behind on the trends? And yet every rich person and every fucking hot person is here. We all like congregate here.
Because we're stupid.
Because we're all so
Because we are
dumb.
stupid.
We're all so dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never like, I love living in LA, and like I think that you don't have to, there's so much more to LA. So if you don't want to like be involved in that aspect and that part of this culture, you really don't have to. But I've never really like, since moving here, I've never really like sat back and looked at it from that way, from like the perspective of how much do I actually participate in that. And of course I do a little bit, but not too much, but like for sure.
You don't participate that much.
Not that much.
I feel like my life revolves around it.
1000%.
Oh well, I gotta live for something.
So true.
But like honestly, that stupid little shit, like, it makes me happy sometimes. My $8 coffee driving in circles. I already said it.
It's all that matters.
You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of shit that brings me joy throughout the day.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
So
that,
be it.
girls.
Drink your water out of a glass bottle and sip your $8 coffee and live your life. Okay. You ready?
I just have so much to say on this topic. I feel like I'm talking in circles. Hi, Cedar. How are you, honey?
I'm so good. I'm so gorgeous.
Are we hot or are we bothered? What are we talking about today?
I'm going to be hot this week.
The roles have reversed.
Yeah, because I was thinking, you called me out last week because I'm always bothered and you're always hot. But I have beef with that. And the problem is that
she has beef, girls. You heard it here first.
Every time you're bothered, you'll never admit that you're bothered. And then you always say, I'm both this week. And then you shame me for always being bothered.
I was bothered this week.
Were you?
Yes, because I'm literally conforming to this toxic cycle of Los Angeles and wasting money.
Let that passion out, babe. That was so powerful.
I love it.
Thank you.
I
Thank
love
you for
it.
sharing that.
I love it.
I'm hot this week, and I'm choosing to be hot about this because I had to have a little moment of self-reflection.
Period.
And we all know this, and I'm not going to toot my horn any farther past this because I literally make myself nauseous when I'm editing these episodes, but I do consider myself to be a relatively emotionally evolved human being, and I do try to be considerate and mindful of other people. However, last weekend I had dinner with a friend and got called the fuck out. So I went on a couple dates with this guy a few months ago, like back in January, so many months ago. And I liked him, but was also unsure about how I was feeling. And it was getting to the point where we were either like gonna have to have sex or not see each other ever again. And I couldn't really figure out where I was standing. You know the drill. And then like I'm uncomfortable. I like this person. I don't want to like tell them something that I don't want to have to tell them. And so what do? I ghosted him. But I don't consider it like I didn't actually like in my head I didn't perceive it as ghosting because I was like I hit him up like 2 weeks later. Like that's not ghosting.
Okay, so you're bothered this week because you actually are a ghoster.
Yeah, I was kind of still getting there. But yeah. So anyway, so he and I are friends now, right? Like friends. And we went and had dinner last weekend, and he'd done something that really fucking pissed me off, and I have been giving him attitude about it for weeks. And so he said something also that was pissing me off as I was getting ready to go to dinner with him, and I was like, I'm actually gonna show up to this dinner and fully fucking fist fight this guy. Like I'm so irritated.
I love that energy.
No, I was like, and this happened the last time I saw him too, and I was like, am I even friends with this person? I hate him. So I show up to dinner, I sit down, and he was like, don't swing. Like he knew I was like so annoyed with him. And I'm like, dude, what's your fucking problem? So then we get into this conversation. And then he finally like makes a comment. And I don't remember if I had to like dig it out of him or if he voluntarily brought it up. But like knowing me, I probably like literally was in the trenches digging the shit out of him. But basically we both came to like, we acknowledged the elephant in the room. And it was that he has resentment and animosity toward me for the fact that I ghosted him. And I was like, okay, I felt like this is why you've been weird and why you've been really difficult with me and giving me such a hard time. But like, I wasn't sure because you didn't fucking communicate that with me. Like I ghosted him. This happened like literally 8 months ago. And he never once has said to me like, hey, like, I like love being friends with you, but like it did really bother me that you like treated me that way. Nothing like that. Like there was never a conversation about it, whatever. So then he finally admits it to me, like, yeah, I actually like really like have some resentment. He didn't even say this. I don't remember what he said, but the premise was he has resentment toward me for ghosting him. And I'm like, I literally said, thank you. Thank you for telling me that, because I had speculations, but I wasn't certain.
And I wasn't going to bring it up.
And then so we had a conversation about like why I ghosted him.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like we were just like getting to that point, and he was like, well, yeah, I obviously took it as a compliment because it meant that you liked me and you got scared and you ghosted me. And so I'm like,
that's a bold statement of him.
well, I'm also like, okay, go off with your confidence, girl.
Yeah.
Like also all of us girls do that when a guy ghosts us. We're like, oh, it's because he was scared. Like he liked me too much. And I'm like, go off, girl. Like,
no, he actually just doesn't like you.
No, he actually just doesn't like you.
No.
So anyway, and then he flat out called me out, and he was like, no, you ghost people when you like them and you get too close to them. And
do
I
you
was
think
like,
that you do that?
A little bit.
When you like someone?
I think when I'm experiencing complicated feelings and I don't want to address them, I will ghost somebody instead of having a hard conversation with them. Because it's like, I liked this person. I enjoyed his company. But I also said to him, I was like, if we would have kept seeing each other, we would have dated. Like, you would have been my boyfriend. And I don't want that. And
it is what it is. And here we are. I feel like there's so many different I don't know. I don't feel like you can like hit the nail on the head and say like, oh, people ghost because of this or people ghost because of that.
It's
like
all different.
Every situation is so different. Like
as a professional ghoster, you would know.
As a professional ghoster, like I actually don't think that I have ever ghosted somebody because I like them. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't like people that often.
I think for a lot of people, it's a very like subconscious behavior though. They don't realize that they're doing it.
I think that that's what my issue is.
I think
because I'm just like, oh, like I don't want to deal with it. Like I feel like this is gonna sound bad, but like I selfishly like block out the other person's like emotions or thoughts or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I really cannot deal with this.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
And it's like also sometimes like you may think, and maybe this is me getting too deep into it and like over analyzing it, but I think that for some people, they may think that they like stopped liking the person or got the ick or something, but really like it was them subconsciously like being afraid of like having attachment issues and like being afraid of having feelings for somebody. And then so they subconsciously do things to distance themselves and turn themselves off from this person. And then they're like, oh, I just don't like them. And then they ghost them. And that's part of it. It's an element. Sometimes you just don't fucking like the person. Sometimes you like the person and then you like give yourself the ick from them.
I feel like the people that I've like noticeably ghosted have been people, like the people that I can recount that I've just like hard fucking ghosted are people that have like put way too much onto me and way too much pressure and like and I'm like I'm still deciding if I even like you.
Yeah.
And if I even want to continue like talking to you. And when they're like you know when someone's like obsessed with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I'm just like I can't do it. Like I can't do it. And then I just ghost.
Yes. And I'm kind of doing that right now to somebody else. I went out with this guy. It was fine. He wanted to see me again the next day, and I was like, absolutely not. That's also a rule of mine. We can't see each other for at least a week after our first date. But anyway.
Oh my God, I would forget about the person.
We made
a
plans.
Week? I would forget that you existed.
I need my space. I need time to figure out if I actually enjoyed our first date. You know, it takes me some days to process. And
oh my God, I'm like.
Then I still have to clean my apartment and like, you know.
Go like do your little manic chores.
Yeah.
And
psychoanalyze and
yeah.
So
I'm like the
then
opposite.
We had like loose plans to see each other for a second time, and he pulls the like, we were both like really tired, had a long weekend, whatever, and we were like agreed to keep it low key. And he's like, okay, well if you want, you can just like come over to mine, and then we can walk somewhere and get a drink or something. And I'm like, and instead of me having like the hard conversation with him and being like, hey, I just don't feel like we're aligned on this, I just ghosted him because what I don't want to do for a second date, actually my worst nightmare
Is to walk
in
into your
terms of a
apartment.
second date
Yeah.
is to walk into your apartment and have you immediately grab me and try and make out with me, take all the makeup off my face,
Mm-hmm.
and then me have to turn you down for sex and feel really uncomfortable about
Mm-hmm.
it. And then once I finally get you get it drilled through your fat fucking skull that I'm not gonna fuck you, you say, okay, well then I guess we can go get a drink. And then at that point I have no makeup left on my fucking face because you've like
Yeah, and the vibes are
licked it all
weird.
off, and the
And
vibes
then
are
you're gonna
fucking
both have to
weird
pretend to enjoy each other's company.
for the rest of the night. And
Yeah.
that's something I'm not doing.
Yeah.
Don't ever invite me over to your apartment for a second date. That's disgusting.
That's not even a date.
That's not a date. And like, no, we're not gonna like, yeah, we can do something casual, like maybe fucking go get a cocktail and take a walk on the beach or like eat street tacos or something. I don't know, but we're not going to your apartment. Not that casual. Like,
Yeah.
no.
We're not there yet.
No, we're not there. Anyway, so what do? I just ghost him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I know it's not the right thing to do. I know it's bad, and I know that it's mean and cruel and like whatever, but I think you're allowed to ghost somebody after a second date. I think once you reach the third and fourth date, it's like no longer acceptable, which I've done, but like
what
it's
I
still not
also
okay.
feel like what I also feel like I make a habit of it's just like I just go on a date with someone and then we and that's it.
That's lovely.
We don't need to talk anymore after that. Like we can follow each other on Instagram for the next year or two,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what it is.
It's so nice and refreshing when
Yeah.
it's mutual.
Mm-hmm.
And like the last thing I want to do is either be the person to send the text or have somebody send me the text after like a first date. Imagine taking a first date so seriously that you text somebody, "Hey, it was really great getting to know you, but I just actually don't think we're aligned, and like I think that like there would be difference at da da da." Like I don't know you. You don't need to give me that explanation. Maybe after a third date, maybe after a fourth date. First date, we're not having that conversation.
No,
Let's
we don't
just
know
not
each
talk
other.
to each
We
other.
talked about like where we grew up and like some random God knows what fact about the day. Like we don't know shit about each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, add that to our list of rules when it comes to dating. Ghosting is acceptable up to the third date. After the third date, you're not allowed to ghost somebody. You disagree.
What if it's okay, what if you go on 5 dates? What if you go on 6 dates?
You're not allowed to ghost somebody.
So what do you have to say?
It was great getting to know you. I don't think that we're aligned, and
What
I
would
hope
you do
you
if you
have
went
a
on
great
what would
life.
you do if you went on 5 dates with someone and they started ghosting you?
If I went on 5 dates with somebody, we're in love. That's not happening.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
Asking for a friend.
I'm just wondering.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah.
If I went on 5 dates with somebody and see, but that's the problem is I don't really like people. So getting me out to a fucking second date, let alone a fifth date, that would be insane. So if somebody ghosted me after 5 dates, I'd kill myself. I would be so distraught. Imagine.
Imagine. You guys, I'm holding a secret.
Chris is going to do a tell-all someday.
One day I'll do a tell-all. No, I won't. Maybe we'll do a tell-all one day. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Chris had a bad experience recently, but
okay, it wasn't a bad experience. It was an experience.
It's a learning experience.
It was a great experience.
It was very informative.
It was a beautiful experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is.
You guys won't get to hear about it, but I'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, no, yeah, one day we'll do a tell-all, but I don't know. I feel like there's still some fuel left in the tank, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We need to see which way it goes.
It's too soon. Give them their homework, please.
The homework is, you girls know what the vibe is. You know what the homework is. What's the homework?
Get your produce. Get your rat-infested produce from Trader Joe's.
Get your rat-infested produce at Trader Joe's and
join a cult/gym.
Join a cult gym.
And empty your life savings to do so. And then also practice ghosting people. We love you so, 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 so very much.
I'm silent.
Have a beautiful, beautiful week, girls. We
We
love
love
you, and we'll
you.
talk to you
You're
soon, okay?
beautiful.
Bye.
Mwah.